What's going on, Kings fans? It's your boy Tyler, or Tap2K, and today Damn, my hat's a little see-through when I'm right there. Oh well, it is what it is. My Dutch Bros is see-through as well. White girl alert. Woo, 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 woo. White girl alert. I'm gonna get my nails did. I'm gonna go get my hair done. I don't know. Sorry, Kings suck. I'm doing anything I can not to talk about it. I'm back. I returned. Got my Christmas, my new Christmas Sacramento Proud hoodie, matching the hat that I've had for quite some time. But now I got something to wear with it, so that's pretty sick. But yeah, Kings suck, guys. Sacramento Kings suck. Today I'm reviewing the Kings versus Suns game. I was gonna review the Kings Timberwolves game, but that game went into double overtime. I had to work the next day, so I definitely couldn't have done that review. And me and Skip were texting, and he was pissed, and I was just like, you know what, you do the review. You know what I mean? Because I was like, man, sounds like he needs to go off. So unless Skip wants to, I was gonna do the Timberwolves review, but that video he talked about the Timberwolves game for maybe 5 or 10 minutes. That's good enough. That game sucked. I'll give you my little breakdown of the Timberwolves game. I think we're just gonna leave it at that for the Timberwolves game. That game was the absolute worst NBA game I've ever watched in my life. I don't care if it's from the DeMarcus era, the era where between when they were good and when they had DeMarcus, when it was just like 2007 when they just basically only had Tyreke Evans. Of any era of NBA basketball I've ever watched, that game, Kings vs Timberwolves, was the absolute worst game I've ever watched of an NBA. Ever. I have never watched a worse NBA game. That game sucked. That being said, the Kings went into this game on a 5-game losing streak. They were playing the Suns, who were on an 8-game losing streak, I think. Is that what it was? I believe the Suns were on an 8-game losing streak. Ooh, check this out. New fancy transition. Wow, unbelievable. Can you guys believe? Isn't that sexy? All right, so anyways, the Suns, I believe, were on an 8-game losing streak. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yep, 8-game losing streak. At the time that we played the Timberwolves, they were on a 12-game losing streak. They hadn't won since the day before Thanksgiving, and we lost to both those teams. Pretty pathetic. Pretty embarrassing. I mean, what are you gonna do? There's really not much, we can say here other than the team sucks. But I'm gonna get into the Suns game. So the Kings are playing later tonight. They are playing the Nuggets at 5 o'clock in 3 hours. I'm gonna try to find some time to do that review. It might be kind of a rushed quick one because I do want to watch the Niners game as well. So I'm gonna do that review tonight for sure. And the only time that it might be a little sketchy is New Year's Eve. I don't know if me and Curtis are going to be available to do that, either of us, because I might be gone. It's New Year's Eve, so we're going to be probably doing stuff. I don't work New Year's Day. I'm where I work, we have New Year's Day off. So I don't know if I'll be watch that game on New Year's Eve. So that might be one that me and Curtis have to catch up on, or whoever ends up doing that one. But yeah, other than that, I'm back, guys. I am fully back. Curtis holding it down for me during the holidays, and I appreciate him for doing that. Thank you so much. So let's get into this Kings-Suns game. This game was awful. I mean, it was all right. Kings had some flashes, but overall, we did not play well. Actually, I thought the game started at 7, but it started at 6. I missed the first minute and a half of the game, and I tried to find a replay to record so I could get it, but I couldn't find it. So I missed the first 2 minutes of the game, whatever. First play I saw was a Buddy and one lob to Rashawn Holmes. He passed it up. Rashawn Holmes caught the dunk, or caught the lob for the dunk, and with the and one. Buddy made a 3. One thing I noticed in the first couple minutes of the game, let me crack my neck real quick. Ooh, that was brutal. One thing I think and UHBN with first chat of the stream, he says, what do you think the Kings could get for Dedmon? How about this? Stick around after I go through this. We'll do some trade machines for Dedmon. How about that? After this, I'll go to the Google and I'll do some trade machines for Dedmon because I haven't really thought about it too much. But we'll try to figure out some trades. That'll actually be something fun to do at the end. So after I go through the Suns game, we'll find a trade for Dedmon. We'll do that. But let's get the game going first. Thank you for the comment, though. I'm definitely going to do that. That's entertaining. And also, everybody in YouTube, or if you're in the chat, comment in the chat and ask, and comment in the chat and suggest what you think we could get for Dedmon. I want to see what people say. Jeff the Lefty, high tap. Barnes was 0-3 at the 3-point line when he took that last shot. Yeah. Honestly, Bogdan could have taken that last shot, I feel like. I mean, Bogdan had... Oubre was kind of close to him, but I rather would kind of have Bogdan take a half-contested shot. Maybe not, than Barnes wide open. I don't know about that, though, because Bogdan's a beast, though. He hits the clutch shot, so hard to say. But we'll get to that. So there's lots of plays where Richaun Holmes is on the three-point line, and they give him the ball at the three-point line. Then they'll have kind of him like set a screen almost and have the ball in his hand, to like it's like a handoff, and then they'll have him set screens. But to me, they had him at the three-point line too much, because when you look at how Richaun Holmes plays, he doesn't have a jump shot like that. Like Boogie could play high post around the three-point line. I personally am not a fan of guys doing that. But the thing is with Richaun Holmes is that he's not a threat from around the three-point line. So when he's up there, he's only there for basically for screens. And it's like if you had somebody, and this is actually UHBN just commented, I don't know if the Blazers would do this, but I think we should try to get a Myers Leonard type player. Myers Leonard isn't exactly the biggest body, and by no means am I saying he's better than Holmes, because he's not. But he can stretch the floor. If you had Myers Leonard doing the same stuff that Richaun Holmes is doing, at least he would be a threat to shoot the three. But Richaun Holmes is always at the top of the key, and they give him the ball, and basically it's just like, buddy, we'll dribble the ball around, almost turn it over, throw it to Holmes, and then Holmes will give it back to him, like in a different spot where he can get a little bit of separation and shoot the three. But to me, it's too one-dimensional, because Holmes can't shoot outside, so he's not going to shoot outside, so it's just like, all you got to do is follow around buddy, and it's easy to defend, in my opinion. Let me know what you guys think. But anyways, there was some good ball movement. This game was interesting because it seemed like every time the Kings moved the ball well, they would miss their shot once they got their open shot. Good ball movement, a missed three from Bielitsa. At one point, the Kings were 1 of 6 from downtown. Corey Joseph had multiple crafty layups, which I really enjoyed. He would get to the basket, kind of push people with his body, and he'd be like, it seemed like sometimes he'd be like way under the basket, like you wouldn't even expect him to make the layup, and he did. So that was cool. And he has some hooks. I mean, he's pretty good. He's got like some hooks. He's got some crafty baskets and stuff. But in terms of like shooting, never once has Corey Joseph shot the ball and I'm like, oh man, this one's going in. Like you can tell when Bogdan and Buddy, and even Fox sometimes when they shoot, it's like, oh yeah, that shot looked good, it's going in. But I always feel like I always assume Corey Joseph's shot's going to be a brick. And I don't want to be negative, but that's what I do. When he's in the corner, I'm like, oh, I ain't going in. I don't want to think that, but I just do. Bogey had a turnover on the jump ball that was just like, oh, it was awful. I mean, he pretty much bobbled the ball around and threw a terrible pass. There was some good drives, though, to the basket. Wayne and Gabriel had come in at this point, and Wayne and Gabriel is like, when Justin James and Wayne and Gabriel are in there to save your season, and Harry Giles doesn't even get minutes, something's messed up. Bielitsa did make a three, though. Bielitsa stole the ball and he made a nice layup. So nice play there, getting the defensive play and then scoring the points on the other end. Ricky Rubio made a little 2-point jumper at this point. Buddy Hield hit a three. The Kings foul Okobo with 0.1 minutes remaining. Like literally a tenth of a second on the clock, and they fouled Okobo on three, and he gets 3 free throws. Like really? UHBN says, by the way, I love how all people Dedmon, the guy that has done nothing, wants a trade. Out of all people, Dedmon, the guy that has done nothing, wants a trade. Yeah, he feels like he's not being used correctly. But the thing is, it's not like he hasn't gotten plenty of like 3-pointers, like three-point looks, and that's his whole thing was that he can stretch the floor and he can do that, but he hasn't really been doing it. You know what I mean? He hasn't been that great, so. He just must feel like he's not being used correctly, which we definitely have used him inside and outside. Inside, he's been all right. Outside, he's been atrocious. He can't make a three to save his life. So I don't know, what What are we doing wrong as the Kings? What is our team doing wrong that is causing Dedmon to miss his threes? If you're missing your threes, you're missing your threes. You know what I mean? So, anyways, Justin Jackson came in in the start. Oh, hold on. My bad. That foul with 0.1 left, that was at the end of the first quarter, not the second. So now we're in the second quarter. Got a little ahead of myself. Justin James comes in to start the second quarter. Takes an elbow to the face from Saric. Air ball from Justin Jackson, and he's 0 of 3 to start. Harrison Barnes with an air ball from downtown. That's 2 air balls, like pretty much back to back, and we were 3 of 13 from downtown. Now, about this point in the game, I had noticed that we weren't shooting very well from downtown, but a lot of the Kings were driving to the basket. Harrison Barnes was doing it. And by the way, Harrison Barnes is the only guy on this team that knows how to draw a foul. And it's super annoying that other guys on the team don't, because basically all of our free throws have to come from Harrison Barnes because nobody else knows how to do it. That's a side note, but... So, what was I just talking about? I already lost my train of thought. Oh. So the Kings were driving to the basket quite a lot, and you're right, UHBN, you have to make your shots to stretch the floor, because if you don't, if you're just breaking your shots, then it's just kind of like a snowball effect. The more you break your shots, the more the defense isn't going to guard you when you're shooting the three, because they don't care, because they know you're going to miss, and then it's just like unlimited rebounds, and essentially, for the other team, and it essentially turns your missed three-pointers, they're basically like turnovers. Because, it's like a missed shot. The other team knows you're going to miss it. So it's essentially almost like a turnover at that point. But Holmes... Oh, what I was saying was the other team, or our team, was driving to the basket quite a lot. And we were getting to the cup like a lot more than we normally do. And I was thinking like, I really hate how my hat's like see-through. But I got to wear it. It's a King's hat. Oh, well. It's not like it's a green hat. It's not my fault. It's blue. But anyways, if we are driving to the basket and it's working, continue to do that. But I was watching the game and I was thinking, we're driving to the basket pretty good right now. But when it gets into crunch time, are we going to continue driving to the basket, or are we going to go back to what we've been doing, which is just standing around chucking up threes? That question was answered later in the game, and we'll get to that. Holmes has a nice little post shot, or push shot, or he puts in the post, but he like pushes it. It's beautiful. It's like the upgrade of the Costa Kufis baby hook. Bogey travels. Buddy Hield with a terrible pass. Corey Joseph missed a layup. Suns at this point were 8-0. Or 8-0. Suns with an 8-0 run. Luke Walton calls a timeout. UHBN says, for the Kings this year, it feels like when threes don't fall, we panic and make stupid decisions. Yes, 100% correct. My dad even said that. I was talking to my dad about the game last night, and he said, like, they just weren't making threes, and they just go into panic mode, and they just start getting frazzled, and they go crazy. That's perfect. You just hit the nail on the head. Who else is in? Jeff the Lefty's still in here. UHBN's in here. Thank you guys, by the way, for tuning in. Appreciate it. Bogdan made a 3. Bogey makes a 2. But then Bogey gets called for an offensive foul. Rashawn Holmes gets called for a tech, which was a bunch of BS. The tech wasn't BS because Rashawn Holmes was like laying into the ref. But what was BS was the foul call. It looked to me like Rashawn Holmes essentially like, say this is Oubre's arm. He kind of like swiped. And if you're looking at it from my angle, you see the swipe and you're thinking like, man, it looks like he hit his arm. But if you're looking at it from this angle, like I'm not even touching the cup. You know what I mean? I'm like not even touching the cup. I'm like right here. But like from this angle, it looks like, it could look like a foul. You see what I mean? And he did that, and they called a foul on him even though he didn't touch Oubre. And Rashawn Holmes is someone that never gets mad like this. Rashawn Holmes went off on the ref. Tech, Luke Walton stand up for his guy, and he knew damn well it wasn't a foul as well. So he went off on the ref, Tech, and Grant Napier's like, oh yeah, that's what this team needs to get a fire under him. Well, we kind of lost it after this. Bridges with a nice little cherry pig dunk where he was just somehow wide open on the other side of the court. Nobody's even around him. He just dunked it. Kings did get scrappy though. I think we were down by like 14 or 15 points right before halftime, but we got down to 10. Third quarter, Bielitsa scores on Baines. Nice little post move. Rubio makes his second three of the game. Harrison Barnes drew a foul. He's doing real good at drawing fouls, but he was missing free throws. He missed both. Bielitsa gets fouled. He misses a free throw. Buddy makes a three. Bielitsa makes a three. Harrison Barnes has a nice take to the basket. At this point, the score is 69-64. Bogey makes a three. And Buddy gets an and one. Driving to the basket, gets fouled, and one. It's like, why doesn't Buddy do that more? I think it's because most teams know Buddy's not a very good ball handler. And they guard him better. And the Suns weren't really on him like that, so he could get to the basket. I was telling my dad, it's like if I'm playing basketball against like some stoner friends I have, and they're not really that good, and I could just like get to the basket on them, compared to like if I'm going to the gym and I'm playing basketball and it's like harder because they actually know how to play basketball. It's kind of like the Suns are like the stoner friend equivalent of like the NBA. They're like, they're good, and they just kind of don't really care. I mean, they were playing good, but don't get me wrong. Like if this was like the Spurs, Buddy Hield wouldn't been able to like, you know, drive on them. Or if this was like even a better defensive team, like, I mean, the Lakers aren't that good defensively, but, you know, like a better defensive team, like the Clippers. There's no way Buddy Hield will be able to handle the ball on the Clippers like that. He'd get picked in 2 seconds. Buddy makes a 2-point jumper. Good ball movement. The two best ball movement plays of the whole game were like a bunch of whipping the ball around to Bielitsa and a bunch of whipping the ball around to Bogdanovic. Both missed their three. It's like, what are you going to do? Josh Jackson, Justin James. I had too many names. Justin James, Euro step layup was nice. Rashawn Holmes with another little beautiful push shot. And Rashawn Holmes is a beast, getting those scrappy rebounds. Rashawn Holmes is the man. I love him. Bielitsa with the air ball. The third air ball of the game. What's going on with the Kings? I don't get it. Justin James definitely had the play of the game, though. It was like a huge, like Bogdanovic was behind the three-point line, and he lobbed one up to Justin James. He grabbed it and dunked it with one hand. I was like, ooh, that was nasty. Baines had a three-pointer, which was gross. I was like, man, we're letting Aaron Baines shoot threes on us. Bogdanovic had a three. Holmes with some scrappy rebounds. Bogdanovic for three. At this point, the score was 94-93 with 6 minutes and 30 seconds left. Devin Booker was pretty much scoring at will, though, on the Kings. The Kings kind of started to fall apart in terms of like their offense just became standing around and shooting threes, which is exactly what I didn't want to happen and what I was afraid of. And I thought to myself in the first half, are they going to continue driving to the basket, or are they going to do what they normally do and stand around and shoot threes? That's what they did. Harrison Barnes drew a foul, got to the free throw line. Booker makes a J. We're down by 5 at this point. Holmes gets fouled, and I believe he made one and missed one. Barnes to Holmes, and Holmes scored. Scores 106-104. Rubio makes another three. Barnes misses a three. Buddy makes a three. Holmes drew a foul. He made one and missed one. Kings, towards the end there, we needed to foul the Suns, play the foul game, and we couldn't foul the Suns. We just couldn't do it. I mean, there was like 2 fouls, I would say, during that play. I think one when Booker got the ball. Even if it wasn't when Booker got the ball, I think Oubre got double-teamed, and we definitely fouled him, and they didn't call it. So it's like, what are you going to do? But still, the foul needs to be like hard enough without it being a tech or a flagrant. You need to make sure the foul gets called. And we couldn't do it. UHBN says it's so annoying, man. When we get the other team in foul trouble or get into the bonus, we don't take advantage of it. I don't get it. Hey, it's got to be coaching, right? I mean, what else? Unless you're, if your team doesn't have a good basketball IQ, it's on the coach to teach them the basketball IQ. And if he doesn't, then it either means your coach doesn't know how to teach, or he doesn't even know what to teach. Maybe he knows, but he's not good at getting his point across. Maybe Luke Walton knows what needs to be done, but he's just not a very good teacher. Or maybe Luke Walton is in over his head and he doesn't know even like how to address problems. I don't know which it is. We have to just wait and figure it out. Harrison Barnes got fouled, and at the end of the day, the score was 112-110. We had a nice little play where, there was time running down. It was a nice play. Harrison Barnes got wide open. I mean, there was nobody near him. And he had Bielitsa probably like 6 feet to his left. And, Bogdan was probably 6 feet to his left. And Bogdan probably had Oubre like 3 feet in front of him. But Harrison Barnes, I think there was like 6 seconds left on the clock. They threw the ball in. Harrison Barnes got the pass with about 3 seconds left. I'm not mad at him taking the shot. He was wide open. You could have gave it to Bogdanovic, but Oubre was kind of close. That's why I'm not really mad at him taking the shot. But Harrison Barnes does shoot the shot. Misses it. Game over. That's the game. Way better quality basketball than there was in the Timberwolves game. The Timberwolves game, like I said, was the absolute worst Kings game or any NBA game I've ever seen in my entire life. It was awful. This game wasn't as bad. And honestly, like, we let Rubio make 4 threes, and like we just kept letting him shoot, and he kept making it. And it's like, and you don't expect that, so I understand like you don't guard him because he's Ricky Rubio. Same time, it's like, man, any other day he wouldn't be making those threes. So like, it's just kind of typical Kings luck. Let's go ahead and check out that box score though. We got Dario Saric on the Suns, 0 of 7 from field goal, 0 of 3 from 3. 8 of 14 for Oubre. He was efficient. Baines, 8 of 12. Ricky Rubio, 7 of 15. Oh, he made 3 threes. Excuse me. I thought he made 4. Devin Booker, though, 14 of 23. Very efficient game. 32 points. Didn't even make a 3. That's all, field goals. So that's in free throws. That's actually in today's NBA, scoring 32 points on 23 shots with no threes. Only 4 free throws. That's just like all getting to the bucket and mid-range. And that's actually... And he had 10 assists. I'll tell you what, guys. Devin Booker, as much as he annoys me sometimes, Devin Booker is one of the best ballers in the NBA. That dude can just hoop. Like, seriously. Like, if we're talking about, like... If we're going to give, like, a list of top 10 guys, like... Like, I'm close to putting Booker in that, like, give him the ball, let him take over the game category. 'Cause, I mean, maybe it's just me, but I'm actually a fan of Devin Booker. Like, that dude's got moves. He can ball. And, like, stuff like this. 14 of 23 shooting, 32 points. Efficient. Like, he can just, he can just get buckets. Like, I like Booker a lot. Even though he said some stuff like, oh, don't double team me in practice or whatever, blah, blah, blah. It's like, yeah, he did say that, but I like Booker. I like him. I think he's got a good game. I think if he was on a team that was, like, good, he would be, like, amazing. Like, I think he could lead a team. But I mean, Devin Booker the Suns have been a dumpster fire the last few years, so I almost can't blame him. He tries his best, and he destroyed the Kings tonight. Frank Kaminsky didn't do much. Czech Diallo didn't do anything. Cameron Johnson didn't do much. Mikal Bridges, 11 points, 5 of 7 shooting. Elia Kobo, 1 of 4. But yeah, for the most part, all other guys shot pretty efficiently. Like, we didn't really stop Oubre, Baines, Rubio, 7 of 15. That's good for him shooting wise. Booker, he was efficient. Like, we didn't really stop them. They were like pretty much untouched. They just scored when they wanted, it seems. Because if you look at us, Bielitsa, 4 of 12 on 11 points. So that's more shot attempts than points. That's not good. 5 of 6 for Holmes, and he had 1 block. Holmes only had 3 rebounds, though. I mean, the rebounds he did get were pretty scrappy and nice, but he only had 3. It's like, really? Ugh, 14 points, though. Harrison Barnes, 7 of 15 shooting, 0 of 4 from 3. Man, if he just would have made 2 more of those threes, it would have been a much better game for him. 21 points, though. Corey Joseph, 5 of 10 shooting, 0 of 4 from 3. 10 points, 5 assists. Corey Joseph did have some crafty buckets, but overall it was, just not great. Buddy Hield, 8 of 17 shooting, 4 of 6 from 3, 23 points. Buddy Hield did have some of the best games I've seen him play in a while. Some of the best spurts of minutes I've seen him play in a while, but overall, couldn't play well enough to get us the W. Wayne Gabriel got 3 minutes, didn't do anything. Yogi Ferrell, 2 of 7 shooting, 1 of 4 from 3, 5 points. Bogdanovic, 8 of 12 shooting, 5 of 7 from 3, 22 points, 4 rebounds. It looks like they didn't play Ariza tonight, probably because it's a back-to-back. Dedmon didn't play. And Justin James, 2 of 5 shooting, 0 of 2 from 3. 4 points. Like I said, he had the dunk of the night, the play of the night for sure. Overall, though, we were more inefficient, and we just, we're not nearly as far back as I thought we were. And, if you go back to our team right here, if you just go to let's just go to Kings. When everybody was freaking out against the Nuggets, when we played the Nuggets a while back, I want to say it was the Nuggets, or maybe it was another team, but I was like, look, we have winnable games here. And I was like, maybe it wasn't. I don't remember when it was. Maybe it was the Spurs game. I think people were freaking out because we lost the Spurs and we should have won. And I was like, look, the Mavericks we might lose, the Rockets we might lose. I was like, the Thunder's winnable, the Knicks are winnable, the Warriors are winnable, the Hornets are winnable, the Pacers are going to be difficult, but we could win maybe. The Grizzlies are winnable, the Rockets will probably lose, the Timberwolves are winnable, the Suns are winnable. I was right on like one of those games. The other games we didn't even come close. We lost to like all these teams. So now I do believe in my heart of hearts, yes, it is time to panic, Kings fans. We are in trouble. We're not looking good. Things are looking terrible. It's time to panic. It's time to hit the panic button. I don't know what we're going to do. We're playing the Nuggets tonight. That'll most definitely be an L. I don't know how to feel. I mean, to me, it's time to hit the panic button. And I don't know what we'd even do, though, because, they're not going to fire Luke Walton. The only way I see Luke Walton getting fired is if Vivek fires Vlade and Luke. If Vivek says, Vlade, you're relieved of your duties and take Luke with you. That's the only way I see that happening. So I think players are going to get traded. We already know Dedmon wants to be traded. So where does that leave us? Do we try to trade Dedmon and Ariza and Corey Joseph? What do we do there? I don't know. Jeff the Lefty says, I wish Bielitsa was in there taking the last shot. Yeah, he would have been more trustworthy. UHBN says the problem with Dedmon is that I don't know if there's any team that really needs him. Jeff the Lefty said I was panicking after that Spurs game. LOL. Yes, that's what it was, Jeff the Lefty. It was that Spurs game. I knew it. I knew that's what the game it was. Yeah, so I don't know. It's a mess. But now that we got that out of the way, I think it needs to be Ariza, Dedmon, Bielitsa, and Joseph being traded. Well, UHBN, it is your lucky day because we are going to go to the trade machine and see what we can find. Let's do it. So here we go. Let me go ahead and switch that over to window capture. Actually, hold up. Let me go trade machine. Okay. So here we go. Trade machine time, baby. Let's do it. All right, here we go. So, who's a guy that you guys think we would be good like? I mean, you said Myers Leonard, right? Let's go Myers Leonard. Second team, Sacramento Kings. How much is Myers Leonard making a year? Where's he at? That's right. Leonard isn't on the Blazers anymore. What team did you say he was on earlier? Someone we need to get is a Randall or Morris on the Knicks. Where is Myers Leonard at? Am I dumb? I do remember he got traded, but I can't remember where now. Myers Leonard. Oh, he's on the Heat. That's right. He's right because you did say Heat. Now that I think about it. Okay. Myers Leonard making 11 mil. Dedmon 13. Try this trade. So a 1-for-1 trade would work. Just straight up, it looks like as far as salaries go. I'm trying to see if there's anybody on the Heat that we could like throw in. Maybe do like a couple players. There's really nobody on the Heat that I would want. In terms of like throw in Derek Jones Jr. Like, nah, I'm kind of good on that. Duncan Robinson, throw him in. Nah, I'm good. They're definitely not getting rid of Kendrick Nunn because that dude's balling. Like someone like Goran Dragic, no. James Johnson, hell no. Justice Winslow, they're not going to give us him for nothing. You know, Kelly Olynyk, I'm good. Dion Waiters, he's eating edibles on planes and getting sick, so I'm good on that one. Myers Leonard wouldn't be bad maybe in terms of like a big that can stretch the floor, but I think we would do that with knowledge that we're trading Bielitsa as well. So in terms of Myers Leonard, I don't see us having Myers Leonard and Bielitsa. I'd say we would be getting rid of Myers Leonard, or we'd be getting Myers Leonard to get rid of Bielitsa. So what if we do like where are you at? You said Randall. They do want to get rid of Waiters, but do we want Waiters? I don't think we want Waiters, do we? I sure as hell don't. You know what I mean? Like, we could do Ariza for him. We could do Ariza for him. That would actually probably be a better trade. Let's see. Myers Leonard. No. Myers Leonard and then Ariza. That would be like another one that would be a straight up trade. Ariza 12, Myers Leonard 11. That wouldn't affect the salaries either way. It just depends on, you know, what do the Kings think we need, or what does Vlade think we need, because we have Bagley. He likes Bielitsa. He likes Holmes. They're already not playing Giles. There's really no room unless we trade Bielitsa. So let's switch to the Knicks. Let's see. Marcus Morris is a guy I wouldn't mind us getting. Play that like stretch big role, and he's a little more athletic than Bielitsa. A better defender than Bielitsa for sure. He's making more though, and that could be a problem. But let's go like and Julius Randle's making 18 mil. So I'd say any more than 15 mil, it's probably going to hurt our chances in signing Bogdanovic long term if we want to even do that. So that would be kind of a little sketchy. I mean, you probably could go Marcus Morris for like maybe go Corey Joseph. Oh no, not Corey Joseph. Maybe you go Marcus Morris, trade them Dedmon, and just to make the salaries get pretty close, you could go Dedmon and Giles for Marcus Morris. I mean, what do you guys think about that? Bielitsa, Giles, and Joseph for Morris and Burke. That's another thing too, is that if we trade away Giles, if we trade away Joseph, we definitely need to get a backup point guard in return. So you'd have to factor that in. Let's go. So you said, and you're right, Jeff the Lefty. His contract is a disaster for this team. We got to get rid of it ASAP. Bielitsa, Giles, and Joseph for Morris and Burke. Bielitsa, Giles, Joseph for Marcus Morris and Trey Burke. Where's Burke at? Am I stupid? Is Burke on here? I don't think Burke's on here. Is Trey Burke on this team? I think he's on the Pacers now, isn't he? When I think about it. Trey Burke. Oh, no, Sixers. He's on the Sixers now. So if you were to do that, I mean, I feel like the Kings, as much as I hate to admit it, I feel like the Kings have been eyeing Elfrid Payton for a long time, which, I definitely would not want Elfrid Payton. So yeah, I don't know. I mean, what's this? 21 million salary? That would actually maybe be a good trade for Julius Randle. Try this trade. Does that work? So that would work in terms of the money. Giving up Joseph, Bielitsa, and Giles for Randle. So then say we have Randle